You know, there's a ton of arcade games. For every 20th anniversary Ms. Pac-Man Galaga machine, there's an old crusty game nobody cares about in a dive bar somewhere. But do these lesser-known arcade games deserve their obscurity? Let's find out on my new series, SLOPCADE. Obligatory history lesson. Abscam was a real event that took place in the late 70s and early 80s. The FBI led an investigation on corruption within the American government, posing as a made-up Arabian company offering bribes to politicians for political favors. So what does that have to do with arcade games? Well, some super genius in the early 80s who had access to a Pac-Man ROM editor decided that this was the perfect subject for a video game, giving us the playable abomination you see before you, Abscam. Because video games and political scandals go together like peanut butter and peanut butter. You control a senator running around Washington, D.C. with the iconic Lincoln heads and ruby red Capitol building, trying to avoid those dastardly IBF vehicles. I'm not sure if the senator you play as is supposed to be Harrison A. Williams or Frank Thompson Jr., but for all I know, this could just be Superintendent Chalmers.
Good Lord!
The power pellets have been replaced with influence, which transforms the FBI vehicles into collectible bags of cash.
I am a high-priced Washington lobbyist peddling influence.
There's so many stupid changes made for no reason. The music drones on, and it gets so old so quickly, and I'm tired. All the fruits have been replaced with just the same white briefcase. All the points are different too for some reason. I don't know why, they just are, I guess. Oh, and you know those iconic coffee breaks from Pac-Man? Those cutscenes between levels? Well, those have been replaced with good, fantastic, far out. And peanut butter. That's pretty much all there is to say about Abscam. It's a political, watered-down mod of Pac-Man. Just the fact that someone thought this was a good idea and put effort into it blows my mind. Hurry! Sell out the American people faster! No! Also, here's the level 256 kill screen just for funsies. Jak the Giantkiller is one of the cheapest arcade games I've ever played. Everything has to be pixel perfect, and even if you are pixel perfect, the game will just kill you anyways because it's bored, I guess. Not only are the deaths cheap, but the game itself feels cheaper. It's like you can see the duct tape holding it together. It's obviously based off the fairy tale Jack and the Beanstalk. You play as Jack, you climb the beanstalk, you collect beans to use as projectiles against birds and whatever that thing is. I think it's a snake. Maybe. Or you can just go home, but that kills you, which I find really funny. After you climb the beanstalk, you get to the giant's castle, and you crab walk up the stairs until you steal his magic heart, and then descend back down. And then you do it all over again. The rounds work like Donkey Kong, where the more you repeat the cycle, the more areas are added between the beginning stage and final stage. After the second beanstalk climb, you find the cloud area, and you have to avoid lions that look like teddy bears, and cross what look like rulers. Trying to cross these bridges is like tight-roping across a dry spaghetti noodle. The only reason I was able to beat this game is because there's a dip switch that gives you 255 lives, and for some reason the death sound goes from melancholy to having a panic attack. After the cloud area, you have to climb a long staircase that would give any OSHA inspector a conniption. There's no warning or indication that a brick is about to fall, so sometimes it just looks like Jak had a heart attack for no reason. During this cycle, you steal the giant's bag of gold, a goose that lays golden eggs, which I'm not sure why you would need the bag of gold if you have a goose laying golden eggs, but I don't know. After that, you rescue the princess. I love when Jak carries the princess down the beanstalk, because when you die, she looks like one of those Russian nesting dolls. And after all of this, Jak finally cuts the beanstalk down once all the giant's possessions have been stolen and you win the game, starting the cycle of pain all over again. The giant had no reason to die as painfully as he did. The game kind of just seems like Jack just steals his possessions and kills him, which is great. This game is so impossible to control. You can barely do anything. I've made jumps in the game where you can very clearly see I'm landed on the platform, but for some reason I still die.
Boxes.
During my recording of the full playthrough of this game, I died 87 times, and you can just say I just suck at it, or that the game is actually bad. Maybe it's both. But when you play the game normally, you start with 3 lives. So that's 29 continues, meaning if I had to pay real quarters to play this game to get all the way to the end, I would have had to spend $7.75. But what really makes this game 10 times funnier is knowing that the company that made it went bankrupt because of how terrible it was. On the Wikipedia page for this video game, there's a whole section of the article that talks about how this game pretty much put the final nail in the coffin for cinematronics, and they had to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 1982. My goal with SLOPCADE is to basically just talk about things I like and to get these really niche, obscure things known because I just think they're really interesting. Just because I'm reviewing something on a show called SLOPCADE does not automatically mean that it's bad. Don't get me wrong, Jack the Giantkiller and Abscam are pretty bad, but they are not the worst games ever made. I'm sorry to tell you. Arcade games kind of have their own ecosystem when it comes to video games. There's so many different types of arcade games. There's those dancing ones, there's rhythm games, classic arcade games like the ones we looked at today. In fact, there are companies around right now that still make arcade games. You say what you want about them, but they're still doing it. If you're still watching this, thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions for SLOPCADE reviews, I would really like to hear them. Arcade games are just really interesting to me. I love arcade games, so I would really like to talk about the super niche arcade games, the hidden gems.